This may have misjudged Vandal Savage. Vandal Savage performed quite well in the other game, though despite this person's errant and obsequious misuse of observational proclamations or definitions of Vandal Savage's effectiveness as a HeroClix piece, the HeroClix piece representing the specific subtext of volatile reality entertainment information representing Vandal Savage, this, in the previous game, did confuse many of the clicks in which the defense power was toughness with invincible. I'll retry. I'm going to retry Vandal Savage against Nimrod. Nimrod has rolling for initiative. Vandal Savage's turn. It's the opposing challenger, the undefeated 5. Nimrod 10. Nimrod will be going first. All the Magia Goons. They had 5 Magia Goons and 1 Vandal Savage. Nimrod has a power to once per turn place himself in any square and then make a close or ranged combat attack as a free action. Ordinarily in HeroClix, when you see where everyone is, that's a very good starter to open up and then start attacking, hammering their support characters immediately. Now this will be more of a better escape, because now this doesn't know where they are. This can't just pop up on them. But when this knows where they are and they're damaging this character, and this character has frequent regeneration that are within click ranges of one another, where they're very likely to regenerate to a click of other regeneration, and all the regeneration clicks are within, and then one of those regeneration clicks are within regeneration range of the top click. So he could heal from last click to top click, and he can use it as a free action when he has 2 action tokens, which is 2 turns. The turn you get the action token and the turn you clear them. Searching the rooms or room regions that Nimrod can see. You're gonna die tonight. Nimrod can see these 5. That's Nimrod. You Nimrod. Wasn't Nimrod some sort of Swedish folk hero? This had been told that. This is not certain. It might make another obsequious and erroneous assumption based on something. Twice in one life, that would be innumerable times in one planetary range of existence. That's everything Nimrod can see. Start moving his multi-attack and 10 movement hypersonic flight ability. Multi-attack allows this person to make more than one attack, and this is decided that Nimrod that in this game, if a power allows you to use an attack that has a move action part of it, then you get to use that again. And since that means I can hypersonic as many times the multi-attack, that might be a problem. How many times does multi-attack minuses the damage of the attack by 1 each time, meaning that you would only use the attack as many times as would successfully deal damage. If you wanted to, I suppose you could just keep attacking after that with no damage and wear down your opponent's patience. Like, I'm going to attack now. You don't deal any damage. Yeah, but I'm still going to do it. I'm not certain if anyone has done that yet, or if that's allowed. Like, don't do that. Or if someone has done it but was easily admonished or proselytized into not doing that. Like, no. But in this game now, this will say that the movement capabilities will be similarly impaired by the multi-attacks. This will say with every use of if you have the multi-attack ability at least. This doesn't know about Colossus. This likes Colossus being able to charge once and then move half his movement again because he has the charge even without a target. He can keep moving. He's the Juggernaut. Russian Juggernaut. This one Uh, this will impair his movement, cut his movement in half every time. Start with 10 movement. That's enough movement. I mean, like 10 movement. Check this room. Methodical. I'm a robot. 5. And once this is here, check the hallway. Running all over the place. This notices that. And this now, oh my. This sees them. This knows that there's a whole bunch of them over here now. Or this knew that they were there, though this saw it. It is focused on it now. Which means an opposing character might do that. This now knows that they're over there. A ring. This will now stop in the midst of that motion. Let's move to 2. Run down there. I do not have super strength. This has outwit. Probability control. His powers can't be countered and outwit, but he can use twice on 2 different characters if they have either the mutant or brotherhood if brother could. If brother could have a hood of evil. Brotherhood of evil mutants. 2 out of 10. This is 8 more. Okay. Yes. Right, that's his first. That's the movement. He gets a power action for using. Then Nimrod is great. Look at that guy. He's the chewing gum prism pyramid master robot. High energy ionized electromagnetic radiation guided high-end higher model sterile light clutter anti-PLEX particle accelerator hand cannon lamination translucent Greek firefly polymer or bicarbonate, not bicarbonate, bilingual, nope, maligned, what do you call it? Electrostatic repulsive, dual conducting semi-conducting quartz. What is the chemical word for quartz? Dioxide silicon, quartz crystal, laminated. This has killed this person's inability to identify the correct nomenclature for the chemical and mechanical properties of silicon has failed. Glass laminated, plastic laminated looking guy. This is going to now have his movement for the next hypersonic to 5. He's going to now move 5. You're going to move 3 of that 5 here. Check that room. You could do that here and move 2 of the 5. Change him over since this can keep track of. This is a lot of movement now. This isn't focused on that again. And now this one and that one looking at one, and then that causes one to notice another. This will acknowledge that it has noticed it, though it shall restrict its focus to represent being canonical or compensatory to the rules of that this hath set forth, established, or ratified, as more connoting a litigious institution. Litigious. Official government. Legislative institution. Legislate. It is a feat, in a way, emulating legislation. The edict. That's more litigious. Edict. But I have to work on that. Regulation. That's a word. And there is no one in that room. I have 3 more of that 5. Move over these 3. Check that room. No one in there. And let's check those 8. Has now no one in there. Multi-attack will now allow this person to keep on making attacks, and this one includes a move action. This will decide it was 5 movement the previous times, so now cut in half. In HeroClix, that's 2.5, now 3. I can move 3 more. And keep working this person's way down. 3 more to here. Where's Nimrod's shtick? It is. The Palladion, homogeneous solids consisting of a recurring series of 3 4-dimensional molecular or molecular scale pattern fractal type finger-like artifact reinforced to niobium, chromium, death runes, trench carbon, What happens when this gets down to 1? As you cut, it will always round up. This is going to cut 1 in half, and it will always go back up to 1. When this will say at which point you get to 0.5, you're going to cut it down to half of half, and it will round up to 0.5. But then you just always round. That will round down. They say round up. Round up. If it's half, it's never cut into quarters. This is not certain that there's any Heraclick's function or mathematics that causes the point value or any numeric value that is associated with a character's ability, or point value or any number to be cut into quarters beforehand. What happens then? Do you still round up or round down? Or is round up a reference to typical PEMDAS academic institution, canonical to certain scholastic institutions that say round up at half or more of a number? Or is that, or just round up no matter what? Because if it does, that means you can never get lower than 1. Because you will always get 0.5, and 0.5 will always be a fraction that you round up to 1 again. 3, half of 3 is 2.5. Yeah, and it's happening now with 3. It's just moved 3, and now you have a fraction. It seems that any time you get a fraction, this is going to happen, because it's going to round up to a number. Or any time you get a fraction of a number, that when you round up to it, it's only 1 away from the number you had. If you have 3, and half of 3 is 2.5, and you round up to is only a half away from where half of it is only. Oh, half of 3 is not 2.5, it's 1.5. Alright, 1.5 round up to 2, so I have 2 movement. 2 more movement. I can move one of those 2 and check this room. And then half of 2 will be 1, and then half of 1 will be 0.5. No one in that room. I suspect they're all in here. Now this should be able to see them. So we'll just search here. That is the skin tone Magya Goon. Skin job Franco Colombo T-800 Terminator. There's a second Terminator in that movie. I don't know if anyone acknowledges that. 2 Terminators in the movie Terminator. It's a whole other Terminator. A whole other guy playing Terminator. They're all clustered together and quickly gets... And now it sees that one. Well, if it's not in the zone that this can see, this should not inspect it. Only the ones in the zone that this can see. But this knows that there are 2 more. How many characters were on this team? This is the brown almost ski job hat. This is 4 that this can see, and there's 2 more. How many characters were on this team? 6. There are 6 characters. That means this knows where they all are. This doesn't need to search anymore. And then there's the mathematical chain reaction conundrum of what is going to happen. Now that this has 2, half of the movement now will be 1. I still have 1 more from the 2 left. I'm going to move. Where should it sneak up on them? I could hypersonic with 1. That means I can really just go wherever I choose. So I use the remaining 1. Then I have 1. Then this has. Then I'll have 1. Then I can move 1 more. Then cut 1 in half. You get 0.5, and I'll always round up to 1 again. Or will 0.5 just be the amount of the movement, and the round up is a function that gets added on to the amount he actually has. For the purposes of movement, he'll have 1 movement, but the amount that he has is really 5. And then the next time he'll get 0.25, a quarter, and at that point round down. Then at what point do you round up? Fractionalizing a number will never give you lower than that number. If Heraclick's rules mean you always round up, this will say at which point you get to 1 movement, stop there. This is going to use the remaining. That means this can use 1 here and then use a 1 again. So I have 2 more movement total remaining. To a total of what? 10 plus 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So that's seen from Clue. 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. That was 1 plus 2 plus 677,000. Stop it, Shake. Go ahead, Meatwad. Wait, he's like, "Duh." Sort of Jesus. Meatwad is in the department of Jesus in the voice. Just right, just L7. Supine. Great supine protoplasmic spineless invertebrate future robot, glistening, sterile-looking jelly. 21, 21, 22, 22 movement. He's just used 22 movement. I'm not sure if that's... I like that. But, for now, this is giving it to him. And then he can, once per game, move to any square. This guy's Mr. Movement. It's like Senor Clean and Mr. Gadget put together. He just pops up. He can go wherever he wants. He just moved across the board. And he still has movement. If a pawn had this kind of power, the game of chess would be over. They should play a game of chess on this board. That would be interesting. Should this pop out? And this should let them come to this person. This will stay outside of the zones they can see. That's the action. Switching over. Where did this put you? Here. He's only moved one. Nimrod's turn is finished. It's finito. Their turn. The beginning of the turn, any powers and abilities? No. Is outwit. Search the room for things this can outwit. This still can't tell if that shape change or outwit. This is assuming it's outwit. Still not registering properly. Checking this hallway. That's Vandal Savage, I presume, yes. That's this Magia Goon. Perhaps the multi-attack. Checking this, other than these 12, or these 10 squares that were part of that hallway, checking this box. Check it. That guy, this guy, these two can see down that hallway, other than this box, which includes those 8. No, no one in there. See down this hallway now, other than this box, the 15, that this is already checked. Are you awfully sure? Have you checked? My father was a Roman. A Roman? A Roman. What's this? This notice is that. This can't see it, but this. Well, who else could it? Everyone's here, so who else could that be? This knows that Nimrod is lingering around the corner. Or this will check now, since this knows there's only one opposing character. It is Nimrod. Nimrod is here. Nimrod thirsts for blood. Try to dogpile on him. This has plasticity. He is hypersonic. That might be a problem. This wouldn't know that he has hypersonic, but this will find out. He has 6 movement. This one has 6 movement. This can move here. Moving that skin tone. Franco Skin Job, Franco Colombo Terminator. Over. That's his name from now on, that particular Magia Goon. Christopher Colombo. This one is going to... Vandal Savage should move over there and try to outwit something. Needs to be in range to outwit. If they gang up on him, this won't be able to... Should have them try to surround him, so that Vandal Savage can have a clear line of sight. This could outwit... This should go over there now and find out what powers that character has with outwit, and then take away one that might give him the ability to get away or do something else that's terrible. He has a 7 movement. Roll meat. That will give me here. And fired. Fired for my job as a peso collector. I mean, I got fired from my job at the patent office because I moved 7 squares. Can you believe this? Here, now this can find out. Now that this is in range to outwit you, what are your powers? The flight ability, hypersonic, pulse wave, indomitable, impervious, and a special power that allows this person to use outwit. That means powers and abilities cannot be countered. Oh dear. Powers and abilities cannot be countered, and he can't. If his powers and abilities can't be countered, then that should mean that I don't have to tell you anything. The whole point of the telling your opponent when they have outwit is because they're supposed to know, they're supposed to have access to your vital pretense by use of implements of domination, wrought and born of the power into discipline of the mind, exquisite or otherwise. You got that sublime, you got that lucid dream and sophisticated faculties, trenchant faculties, assisted ancillary Achilles-esque combat tactics and abilities paralleling predator-atage there, but instead, yeah, forget all that. I don't have to. Nimrod does not have to tell you anything. Oh, really? Does Nimrod talk? I don't think Nimrod speaks. Ultron speaks. Nimrod does not. He's like that robot from the Robo 47 from War of the Monsters. What does that mean? That was a failure. Now this knows. Now that this can't counter you, this will try to surround you with Magyar goons. 6. Where are you there? Move you here. Let's move over Vandal Savage. Yes. Now time for the brown meat. The chocolate milk delivery. John Cooper Mellencamp. Looks like particularly persistent agents of the press reporting on the NBA grab coming up. A boop with a mohawk. Boop, get that boop on my face. I'll boop you up. Back to that, aren't we? Try to get these characters around. I think they're closer to this entrance than we're going to have to. I just can't get to him any other way. Are there even enough spaces around him for all 5 of these guys to base him? Yes, there are. Just enough. He does not ignore characters for movement. The flight power ignores characters for movement purposes, but he has to break away first, and they all have plasticity, though this suspects that plasticity does not compound, which means that one character is breaking away from one character is the same way as breaking away from any number of characters, unless they have some special power. And 6. This knows where the only character is. This won't check. Not checking anymore. This will move over that character peg for the occasion in which somebody does a bust a move. There. And give you an extra token. You get an extra token. You get an extra token. You get an extra token. This one. Oh, this one should try to go up through there. Here. Quick, goons! Get him! Does he have any range? Vandal Savage has no range. You got a great range there, Vandal. That's it. He's got no range. He cannot. So he can't act. 6. Here, right behind that guy. Both of these have tokens. That's everyone. Everyone is done. Nimrod's turn. long last, Nimrod. Now I'm going to give you some weapons. And now you go and kick some. Boop. Yeah. And Nimrod will check that hallway since this knew they were there last time. This has been told that a lot of them have based this character immediately. This finds the skin job guy. That's this one. And that one. This is the brown meat delivery. I am delivery man. Look down further down. This can check this room also. Check that. They were all here. They could have moved. And obviously, they're basing this person. There could be someone trying to break these walls so that they could have more region with which to have vantage to shoot on or attack this person. More squares. Damn, more squares in space with a pushing. Everything has to rhyme with you people. Vandal Savage, I found you. So precious. And this guy. This is the Blackie doll. Gorvy doll. Oh, what's this? Wait a second. Is it this one? Well, that's the Blackie. So now this one's a completely different. So many goons. Where do you go to get these people, huh? Off-brand ski cap. Alright, Madcaps. That's how many characters? That's 5. So there's one missing. One of them is gone. Not in that. Now check this hallway. It's these two. Nimrod. Oh, Nimrod! You want to see Nimrod? Yes, please. Oh, dear. That might be the funniest part of Transcendence. No one in there. That's it. That's all this can see. I am. This can outwit. Oh dear goodness. Oh, that's that might be a benefit to grouping on this character with characters that each have plasticity. That if this would like to eliminate the plasticity, this has to outwit all of them. As this can't. This can only use it 1, and this is based with 2. Imagine if you were based with 5. With science. I don't have movement attack. This has movement attack, but this may not. This will not use pulse wave with hypersonic, even if it could break away. Which is feasible. Hypersonic allows for a reasonable regular breakaway roll. This has 2 targets. 2 targets, 5 damage each. They have. This doesn't know what their defense power. This would not know what their defense powers are. There is an easy solution for that. Over-the-counter pulse wave. Ripe and ready for all of your over-the-counter prescription drug and instant pain-relieving Magia Goon dispensing needs. 10, that's 22. That's gotta hit these guys. Come on, they're 20 points. It'd be funny if they were 20 points and had 20 defense. You got 1 point of defense for the points, but on the other hand, they get hit. Well, they're KO'd by 1 hit. They can be KO'd by technically get KO'd by 0 damage. What? How can they get KO'd by 0 damage if they're attacked? They're KO'd. So even a character, yeah. But this character deals 1 damage to each of them because it's pulse wave. Oh, this one is also in pulse wave range. No one else. This can't see anyone else. This will assume that no one else is in pulse wave range. This can see these two, but they're not in direct line of fire. There is a wall here protecting them. This will deal Vandal Savage 1 damage. The Magia Goons 1 damage. And that guy 1 damage. Now here's a problem. Pulse Wave. This can use the multi-attack ability. This can only use 1 power action per use of the multi-attack ability. Alright. So now this could use Hypersonic. This will save Hypersonic for the last one. This may not pulse wave with the next attack. And the next attack... But the first attack, this used a power that has its own damage. So does that mean the next attack will deal -1 regardless of the fact that this didn't use the printed damage the first time, its own modifier for damage? This will assume so. Next attack will deal -1 for damage. This will attack... Is this a giant? No. This would like to break away. I'd have to get a succeeded breakaway. This will just start attacking Moggagoons. Attack that Moggagoon. Now they get their defense power. 12 plus 10. Well, that's pretty good. A double, triple every night. 14. Well, you have 19. You have this person's defense. You have special powers that give you this person's defense. That's hit. But that, if we hit 10, that's 22. Or 9 or 10. Even if it were 9, that's still that's 21. That still hits your that hits my 19. You stole it from me. That's stolen technology. Give it back. 4 damage. KO. Combo breaker. Combo breaker. Blah 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 blah. That's it for that guy. Well, that was unceremoniously. He was a Moggagoon after all. Moggagoons have a sedulant proclivity for not faring or having a high duration of existential potency. That's not the word. A duration of stay, of tenure on the battlefield. That's not quite the word this was looking for, but it'll do for now. I have another attack, -1 again. This is a combat action, it's not a power. Thus, this will continue using that -2 now. 3 damage. This will yield 12 on whatever it is you have. 9. That's 12. 9. 21 again. You still have my defense. Everyone's stealing my defense. Plagiarizing me. Can you stop biting off me? Get off my laps. You're not my boyfriend, Melissa. Look at me. You might be Lumpy Space Princess. Look at that modern crystal-bit, Modronian, dark, chaotic magic, translucent energy, ball-like, suspended away from nearby object and forces, webs, pure power, dendritic, the fractal spark, PK placeholder, superconducting arc lightning channel, macro quantum refined scale, bollocks, pink, Modronian, dark, chaotic magic, prism, sterile, anti-pelex, translucent bicarbonate of soda, dioxide, silicon, and Greek firefly, polymer, semiconducting silicon, laminated bollocks there. That's spiky Space Princess. It's raison damage. 3 damage. KO again. 3 damage. This had dealt 1 from the pulse wave to all of them. This may not stop a multi-attack to use Outwit. This has to keep going, or if this stops the multi-attack, then this could use Outwit. That's this K over this guy. There's so many of them, I really don't care. And I'm a robot, I don't have any personal sense of meaning allocated or attributed or ascribed, whichever, pick one, to their bodies being present on the field. I exist for one singular purpose, to create bodies, not to admire them. Remove that token from the field. Right, cleaning house. Next attack will deal -3 to damage. I think multi-attack can be a ranged or close combat action, whichever one. Does it have to be the same kind of action as the previous one? It says you can only use one power action, which means obviously you can do different types of powers with each one. I assume then this can switch to ranged combat if this so chooses. Randall Savage, this is diabolical. Randall Savage, this is bollocks. What is that? This can now hypersonic if it wanted to. This can use hypersonic. I'm gonna hypersonic. This is doing well. I'm gonna hypersonic. Being in combat, there's still one guy who isn't here. I'm gonna hypersonic. 4 here, base all 3 of them. Yeah. Boop your plasticity. Boop your plastic jacket straps. The movement has stopped. Well, actually, this can keep on moving. If you have plasticity, you cannot break away as you would normally, which means, really, no, if this did this could still get there. That means hypersonic characters have to stop when they get adjacent to you. They don't automatically break away. It says they ignore characters for movement purposes, but that's not ignoring characters. Does that mean I can ignore... If you ignore characters, you ignore plasticity, but it doesn't say they ignore characters, it says they ignore characters for movement purposes. Or, no, what is it? It's the spit... Well, usually if you have the dark, opaque gear symbol, the HeroClix style symbol that represents character, next to the pivot animation, swashed end, French fry looking pivot animation running guy. It's like the guy from Splosion Man, Shift put together. And you ignore characters for movement purposes automatically. So what does it mean when it's hollow? Does that mean, I'm guessing that's like a not as powerful version? Ignore characters. This assumes that means that you can ignore characters for movement purposes, but you can't break away automatically and ignore special powers or things like that. So this will say it can automatically. Something about that doesn't seem right. Say if they have plasticity, this will, for now, defer breaking away. And really, this doesn't refer to. Oh, this notices that. Oh dear. This is another power action. This will deal -3 damage, 2 damage. I have 2 targets, but no. Maybe they should have taken it back with range on this one. Who will this attack? Let's attack Vandal Savage. These guys. Vandal Savage needs more attention. This doesn't even know if it can hurt him, Vandal Savage. It only has 2 damage now. This has been making attacks all day. Oh. 11. If that was damage, this fight would be over. It may very well be damage. This guy is the master of doing way too much in it for one character in one turn. Or just enough to be incredible. The amazing? No, the incredible? The astonishing? No. What kind of... The superfluous? That doesn't sound right. The startling. Let's attack this guy. This has 11, so that's 23. What is your defense? 17. That hits you for 2 damage. You have toughness. You get 1. 1 damage. Any other powers this can use now? It's -4 to 1 damage. The only other person this can hurt is probably knowing that you reduced the damage. They don't necessarily have to tell you. Should they have to tell you how much they reduced your damage by? This will say yes for now. So this would know he has toughness if he's only taking 1 damage, and this dealt him 2. Now it's down to 1 damage. This can and here's the same problem again with the damage. This will make the same call with the speed. That once you get to 1, just stop. All right. Here's the last attack. I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna attack that module. I'll smack that drone. 6, that's not so high a roll. 18. This misses you. You have... Oh, no. You're not based with me. It says adjacent friendly characters, but then this can't attack him because he's out of range. This is based with him. This can't shoot out of adjacency. Then this will attack that guy, and it would have missed because he has this person's defense. This missed a Magiagoon. Where did this go wrong? You baked the pancakes. Oh. Move over Nimrod's piece. Where was Nimrod? Did this move him over? This checking that? There you go. There he is. All right. Nimrod might live. He's not really alive, but mechanically, collagenously, or slide or fractal sprutch its way to regretting this fractal sprutch. Okay, you come up with this right here. A guy named Willie told me. There's her. Now you have 2 dead Magiagoons. You probably only need 1 more turn to kill everyone, or kill most of the characters here. Their turn, these 2 no longer have action tokens because they are dead and deceased. Elton John in ancient Egypt. Probably the euphony, the etymological architecture, the etymological characteristics of that word are the sole reason why they made that joke. Just imagine Elton John in ancient Egypt. I like how that sounds. Let's put it in Futurama. Let's build a whole episode. It's the phonics. Is it really etymology? I don't think that's etymology. It's more like phonics. Phonics. Sonic phonics. Searching for... We have a character here. That's the bone guy. Word around town that Superman has been frequenting the Daily Planet and going to the boneyard with you. What is the boneyard? What, a funeral house? A funeral parlor? A grave? For what? That doesn't seem very Superman-like. I'm high on PCP. No, this is not high on PCP. What is this is looking for. Nimrod was here last time. He's gone. This recalls a hypersonic. This recalls lots of things. None of them very good. Randall Savage could search here. He attacked somebody. He's attacked a Maggia goon after killing several of them. He's probably in the. That's him right there. He's up in my grill. I can't counter him. It doesn't say his other powers and abilities can't be countered. It says his powers and abilities can't be countered. Nimrod's powers and abilities can't be countered. The lie dog. How dare you? Oh my goodness. Vandals. This is going to have. He's going to kill them both. He killed two of them before. He'll do it again. This is going to push them to. Can they even hurt him? I don't think they can hurt him. Doesn't he? Probably has. He's going to sacrifice. Maybe he'll get a critical hit. What else can they do? They can be absorb punches that Vandal Savage doesn't. But they're only going to absorb one. These two will only last one round. Might as well push them now. 8 plus critical hit! Go! How did I get it? Oh, alright. Critical hit, 2 damage. Actually, I thought that, for some reason I just assumed that when a character gets a critical hit, that's the answer to all problems. That's the answer to everything. But that might not actually work. He has impervious, so that's still not enough. Critical hit. He doesn't get it, but he's impervious. It's not penetrating. This is... and he still pushes. Well, he has exploit weakness now. That could be useful. Both these characters need this exploit weakness. I want them pushed, because he's not going to deal them 1 damage. He's going to deal them a lot. I mean, but he'll deal a Maggia goon 1 damage, but not before killing these guys. He'll lose. He'll have enough to kill both of them before he works his way down to 1 damage. This will push now. Funny, this gets another critical hit. What would that be? 20? That's pretty high. 9, 8, 17 misses even the printed defense, which is what this expected. Next turn. Now the problem is now this has to hit him after this clears, but they're not going to last that long. I don't. It may be, but if they do, if they last 2 rounds, they can. This guy is going to. This guy will push, but hide behind this wall. Hide somewhere so that he doesn't immediately kill everybody. No. This one will push, but hide. Push and move there. Now you have exploit weakness. I got a Shawshank. Vandal Savage can do something. Can't outwit him, but I can attack you. I have Flurry and Super Strength, no objects? Oh, how unfortunate. Vandal Savage has an affinity for death as a mammal that is bent to experience the parapractice-affronted neurological narratives of obsessive-compulsive domination and banal obsessions. Here we go. 9. It's 9 plus 11 first attack. 20. That hits you. This will hit you. Have impervious. Gets it. Go, blimey, in a beach ball canoe. It's like shooting monkeys. It's like shooting drowning monkeys and dogs and snakes and Louis C.K. in a barrel. Wait, it wasn't Louis C.K. who made that joke. Good George Carlin as well. Throw him in too. Throw him. That's probably how they died. Louis C.K. is still alive. Oh. Really? What happened? It doesn't count if you think it's funny. Why? Oh. And that's it. That's all I want to code. Second attack? This didn't do the second attack. All right, second attack. Not multi-attack. That probably doesn't hit anything. 6? 17? No. That's it. That's all there is. There's the next turn here. Time for insanity to ensue. Nimrod is... someone tried to hit me? Someone got a critical hit and lost their mind. Hey-o! This notice is scattered, littered. And this notice is this also. Battle Savage. What on earth is that one? Fly-by-night, a night operation. What kind of Shawshank Redemption fly-by-night night operation to make a quick buck? Mater D conciliary agitating concierge's desk accosting. Which way is your wallet? Enron et boy. Quite how stupid do you think I am? Kind of shenanigans is going on here. The Magyar goon kind. Goons. This won't, this can't see into here. But is that everyone else? Let's check to make sure that is everyone else. Before, that's the fly, like this is the fly-by-night operation one. This is the, wait, which one is this? Oh, this is the fly-by-night operation one, then which one is that? Oh, Slick Black. Jack is Black. Got it. And it's assuming Vandal Savage. Is there anyone I'm missing? There's one here. Since this knows, this killed 2 of them, and how many characters were on that team? 6. That leaves 4. That's the only one left. So that must make you the Boneyard guy. Maybe Boneyard is like a drug dealer. Superman does drugs, and I'm not surprised. And that's why he can move faster than light. That guy's on amphetamines, brother. Second attack, probably no multi-attack. This could pulse wave someone from range. This will... they all still... I don't know if they have plasticity, so this wouldn't know if they have plasticity or not. This could try to break away, shoot them from range, then pulse wave Vandal Savage. Could this get in range to only hit Vandal Savage with pulse wave and then hit them with ranged attacks? That's what this is going to try and do. It's getting bold. Breakaway, hypersonic... 5. No. They decrease my success by 2. But I increase my success rate by 2. So it's a 5. And that succeeds. That's enough. 4 through 6. I get it. Now I'm going to hypersonic 4 here for my first trick. I'm a robot. Get these crush eggs of flesh out of my dominion! Greek fireblade emulating him, dark down, deep throat, black as night, duster trench coat. It's a duster. Oh, sweet duster you have. Oh, you're dead. Right, that's another hypersonic. I'm making a pulse wave. No one else is in range. These are just out of 4. On Vandal Savage, 1 target, single target pulse wave. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, brother. It's on. That is 10. This might not last very long. 10, 22, you have 17 defense. Your powers can be ignored, so that's 5 damage, ignoring all of your powers and game effects. What does that mean? Isn't everything a game effect? Why doesn't it ignore itself and turn itself into a separate universe or wipe itself out of existence? It will destroy all of HeroClix. That's what Pulse Wave does. But we don't appreciate it because we are left unearthed without a frame of reference. We got no hedonic cap, we got neurogenic sprutches on nociceptor suffering on that one. Giardia took a dip in a dirty Louisiana bayou, came back with Giardia. That's what happened. It just broke reality. Now back to the HeroClix game. 5 damage. guy's still going. Not bad. Not certain if pairing this guy up against Nimrod in this game was a fair test of Vandal Savage. No, obviously he's not doing very well. Nimrod. Alright, next attack. Wait, this cannot hypersonic pulse wave. Oh, this made a mistake. Oh, it was gonna hypersonic and then pulse wave with the next action. So that was a regular attack. It wasn't ignoring your combat abilities. How much damage did this deal you earlier? Still, you won for the pulse wave, and that was it. So you're on this click. Now this is dealing you 5. You have toughness, so you get 4 damage instead of 5. Right. Now this is going to pulse wave you. Oh my. I don't like where this is going. Pulse wave, single target. For both hypersonic and pulse wave, range is reduced by half. So he has 8 range, 4 again. This will only target. This can only target Vandal Savage. Come on, Savage. 2 and 6. 8. 22. Nope, 20. 20, and you have a special attack. Gives you Outwit, Perplex, and the ability to ignore characters when using it with a range of 10. As if you had a range of 10. So that hits you now for 4. -1 to damage with each multi-attack. So 4 damage, pulse wave, ignoring all of your powers and abilities now. That guy's still alive? How much damage did he take? He took 4 damage the first time, having reduced it from 5 to 4. Now he's taking 4 pulse wave, unable to reduce or eliminate the damage with any power and ability. So he's taken 8 damage and he's still alive. Nimrod's probably trying to rebuffering. Okay, this is impossible. That's like that scene from Terminator Salvation where the Terminator looks around, error, or I'm searching, what, I thought he would be there. Like, what the? Next attack. This can now make ordinary ranged combat attacks. I should do them now before I run out of them. Well, they should try to finish off. How much power could these guys could Vandal Savage possibly have? They should try to finish off Vandal Savage. Next attack, 3 damage, attacking Vandal Savage. 4, oh that's terrible. 4, that's 16. Hopefully he has like 16 defense. He does! Alright, this has -2 now. First one did 5, the full. Second one, every successive. That was really just a power action and multi-attack. That was the pulse wave, did 4, now he deals 3. 3, and he has, is that toughness? Or, that is toughness. So he gets 3 damage, 1 KO, that's all required. Alright, so he took, 9 damage? He took 1 from the pulse wave, and then 8 from this attack, so that's 9. And then he took an additional, he only took 1 more to KO him, even though he got 3. And Vandal Savage is down. The game is probably going to go downhill for them from now on. From this point on, the game is going to go downhill really fast. It's a go-kart race. Next attack will deal 2 damage. What is this? A ranged combat attack on this guy. He's the farthest away. This should hit him. It's on general principle, be logical. So that the only ones that are remaining it will be harder for them to reach you. 7. That's 19. From range, they do not copy this person's defense. 2 damage now. That's 2. That's 2 there. Still alive. Oh, he took that guy. These guys know how to take a hit, man. Fire on. Fire on these guys. I'm gonna switch up fire on this guy. 12 on whatever you have. 6. That's 18. You have 14. That hits you. Or what? 1 damage? Yes, 1 damage now. That's all. Next one will be. Wait, 2. Oh, that's it. No more attacks. Alright, that's a multi-attack finished. I have outwit now. I have free actions now. So, well, those multi-attacks were free actions, but I've got another free action. It's not an attack, I promise. Got outwit. What powers do you have? Exploit weakness, the defense power that gives you the defense of an adjacent attacking character when being targeted by an attack. And this one also has exploit weakness and that defense power that gives you the same defense as the adjacent, or not necessarily adjacent, but a character who is attacking you with a close combat, targeting you with a close combat attack. And plasticity. Plasticity. To outwit your plasticity. They can't hit this person with exploit weakness from there, and I don't think they have Indomitable. And this guy. That's it. Nimrod is finished and must move his character peg. This devastation. Devastation. Ooh. Taking Nimrod off the field. Multi-attack and colossal stamina. This is a never-ending borderline Uber-tried Tessa, Uber-tried Hur. There's Fret Beam, Achilles, maybe that's something Achilles can do. Multi-attack. You call it the Uber-tried Hur Knocked Fret Beam Divine Combat, slipping between the cracks of perception, in betwixt the iterations of pristine HHO molecule consciousness, waste droplets, condensation, nucleusing, balaton, spewing consciousness waste. It is their turn. Alas, poor Yorick. I should check here. He was adjacent, wasn't he? He's not here anymore. Oh, no. He could have gone into... Let's check this hallway first. That's him right there, standing right at the end of the hall. The alien from Signs. He wasn't standing at the end of a hall. More like that guy from the House on Haunted Hill, that remake. It just like pops up in his blue. Oh, dear goodness. Like, he's there. What shall us do? Everyone's pushed. Everyone has to clear. All of them have to clear. Oh, this is... That's it for that. And Nimrod has 2 tokens. Has to clear. Search. Or were they here? They had to clear. They didn't make an attack, even if they don't. Even if this decides you don't have to tell people that you have to clear. One might assume, thought perchance, that they do have to clear. It's like this. Found them. You might infer that they had to clear, or surmise that from that they didn't make an attack and they don't have willpower. What are your powers? Same as before, or in case you don't already know. Presumably you wouldn't ask if you already knew. This one has a defense power that allows you to use the defense of an opposing character targeting you with a close combat attack. Exploit weakness. This one has plasticity, the same defense power, and exploit weakness. And, this can't see you, but this knows you're there. So you're the last person. This can't target you without wit. You don't have to. If this doesn't have line of sight to you, this can't target you without wit. Therefore, you don't have to reveal anything. But they're the same character. Therefore, you use some actual outwit and deduce that. Oh, really? That's so frightfully, dreadfully beguiling. You entranced and incited to the promise of pleasure. How decadent and hedonistically and ludicrously urbane. Not urbane. Gourmandizing, gluttonous, decadent. Profligately absurd. This now is nothing. Outwitting. Outwitting. Nothing. Outwitting that hat you're wearing. Yeah, I think it's Humphrey Bogart, isn't it? Trigger discipline, fool. They will search. There, just where you were before. Try to base it down. This one has plasticity. It needs to base it the most of all. Here. Your action is completed. Move that peg over, sir. Move up 4. Oh. Yeah. Move you here. All right. They're all reaching in their pocket. What are they reaching for? They're all reaching in their trench coat. Whatever you're reaching for better be a sandwich, because you're going to have to eat it. You're going to have to. That's it. Right. That's all we can do. Now for the slaughter. And that is the right word. Don't tell me it's not. Don't tell this person it's not the right word. Immediately this notices 3 right in a row. It's like they're just lining up to be killed. The bone guy. Slick black duster down trench, deep throat trench coat. Down deep throat duster trench coat. Duster buster brown deep down deep throat Pier 42 duster dark black jacket trench coat. Duster trench coat. Duster buster brown trench coat. Duster buster brown Pier 42 trench coat. Deep throat. Pier 4, deep throat, Pier 42, duster, buster, brown, jack is black trench coat, down trench coat. You have to die. I don't know if it's getting pulse wave. It'll do 1 damage on first attack. Pulse wave. Nine. This has not taken 1 hit of damage. This will be a perfect victory for Nimrod. Can anyone beat this guy? And then he still has the power. Once per game, he can disappear and regenerate. He's absurd on this map. But this digs it. This likes that he's absurd on that is Nimrod. This is 9, 21, 15, 12, and 13. Hits this guy. Hits these people with 21. They're guys that have attack values there are characters with attack values that match those defenses. You only would miss them with a critical hit. Perhaps you shouldn't even have to roll if you attack someone with that lower defense. Just, how do you try to hit someone that way and then get hurt? I guess stupidity, man. 1 damage here. 1 damage. So that, not for long. 1 damage, KO. RKAO. And the bone guy gets 1 damage. That's it. Pulse wave is finished. This is going to use Outwit to find out your powers. Defense power that reduces the... That was Pulse wave, it ignores all powers. So that allows a character to take on the defensive power, take on the defensive value, power value, of an opposing character that is targeting them with a close combat attack, and exploit weakness. Oh, exploit weakness, I do not like that. This one has that same defense power, plasticity, and exploit weakness. This is going to attack, he has plasticity, I'm going to attack you next. -1 to damage. 12 plus 10. Now that's mathematics for you. Worthy of song! 22, 4 damage. Take 2, 3. Oh, he takes 3. Okay, who's that guy? Cooling, Corrido house. Last but not least, I'm going to hypersonic. This should probably try to break away. This could fail breakaway. Hypersonic. If this fails breakaway, then he hits this person for 1 penetrating damage when this might have the opportunity to end the game right now. Attacking you with an ordinary close combat attack. Now you have my defense of 19. That makes it even more likely that this can miss you. He's going to try to break away. He could have plasticity. Wait, no, he doesn't. It's already determined that with Outwit. 5. That succeeds. Should probably down the hall so I can get some distance attacking from my full distance here. Make the attack there. Ranged combat. 12 plus 4. That actually might miss him. 12 plus 4, that's 16. He has 12! Alright. No, you're gone. That's it. How much damage is 2 third attack? It's 3 or 2 damage. The first one was Pulse Wave. Then was a close combat attack. Or was it? No, the first one was Pulse. Yeah, the first one was Pulse Wave. Then was a close combat attack, suspect. Now is Hypersonic. That's 2 multi-attacks, so minus 2. 3. You deal 3 damage. That's it, KO. The game is over. It's over. It's over. Oh, that's you get an action token from the future. Incandescent proponic. He's a proponent of hydroponic and ion thruster propulsion, coupling propulsion, phasing teleport systems. Made by the NASDAQ. Made by the E-Point Lockheed. I have this moved 2, 3. This has 10 more movement. Use that 10 more movement. This has 10 movement, minus 3, 7. So spitefully move over here. And then I'm going to clear. Now I'm using my once per game double power action to just go to the future.